All right, this is the Lekato, I still don't know how to pronounce that, true isolated pedal power supply. You can never have too many power supplies for pedals. You never know when one's just gonna crap out on you. So let's open her up and see what comes in the box. Your owner's manual. So here's the actual unit. Let's take it out of the plastic here. And it's got a nice metal outside shell to it. You got 10 ports. You got your DC 12 volt in, a 5 volt USB right there. And you have an adjustable 500 milliamp down here and your regular 9 volt 300 milliamps down here. So you got 8 of those, one adjustable, actually 2 adjustable 500 milliamps. They can be adjusted for 9, 12, and 18 volts. Some older pedals sometimes take 12 volts. Or if you need to supply another power supply that's 18 volts, you can put it on 18 and kind of daisy chain it. It might be noisy though. I'm not sure how that works out. Each one of those has a light right on top, and we'll check that out once we plug it in and see how everything works. But yeah, the bottom is, not the bottom, but the whole thing is, it's a nice shell right there. Let's see what else is coming in the box here. You have all sorts of cables. An adapter cable for, well, I'm not sure. And you have, let's see, it should be at least 10 of them. You have a little 9 volt battery adapter. That's cool. That looks like an extension. And then you have 1, 2, 9, 10. 10 cables, 10 ports, 10 cables. And lastly, this is the power supply for your power supply. This should be probably 18, 12 volts, 2.5 milliamps. And I'm not sure how long that cable is, but that looks like a decent, you know, at least 4 or 5 feet. So apparently this is a reverse polarity adapter. So normally with pedals and whatnot, negative is on the inside, positive on the outside. Well, this reverses it. Going in, reverse is coming out. You got positive on the inside, negative on the outside. Be careful with that. You don't want to screw something up with it. Let's plug some pedals in and see how it works out. So here we got my little inexpensive board of mini pedals here. I've got 6 of them, as you can see, and I normally run my power supply right there. So that's where we're going to put it, or something. And I've got 6 of the cables ready to go. And I did say that the power supply to it is about 4 or 5 feet long. That's exactly what it is. It's about 5 feet long. So there you go. I got power to the pedal. As you can see with that little red light, it probably looks yellow in the recording. Let's plug them all in and then we'll roll them. Normally I have better cable management, but this is just a demo. We're going to start at 6 because I've only got 6 pedals here. You can see every time I plug one in, the light comes on. And you do have a USB out. I think I said that before. 1000 milliamps, DC 5 volts, so you could charge a phone, iPad, tablet, just about anything that charges from a 5 volt USB. So there, let's see. They are all working. Now you can take one of these and plug it into the 9 volt 500 milliamp number 8, and it's not going to hurt anything. The pedal, it's only going to draw what it needs to draw. So that's maximum 500 milliamp draw, and these pedals are far below that. Now of course I'm not going to plug it into, I can plug it into the 9 volt if I have the 9 volt on there, but don't go cranking this on to 12 or 18 volts and then plug in an extra pedal in. Okay, you can plug the 9 volt in there, and you could, if you have a pedal that's 18 volt or 12 volt, you can plug it in there too, or plug it in one of these. It may not work right, but it won't hurt it. But if you plug one of these 9 volts in here and it's on 9 or 18 or 12, you might blow your pedal. So be careful with that. And there you have it. It's working. Let's talk about it just a little bit. I know it's a weird angle, but I wanted to demonstrate how quiet that power supply is. I've got this SG, it's plugged in, turned on, running into these pedals, out up into this noisy little Fender Harvard amp. This amp's probably over 40 years old or so. And it's kind of noisy with or without pedals. So with the pedals, I've got the boost off. And you can hear, I've got the guitar plugged in. Power's on. The loudest thing right now is a click. That one's a high gain pedal. It's always going to be a little loud. And that one's got some static going on there. Nothing to do with the power supply. So I've got these other two unplugged because they're not true bypass. And once I unplug that, you're not going to be able to hear the guitars playing, so I can prove that it's truly off. So unplug it. Unplugged, it's the same amount of noise it is whether it's plugged in or not. So there's no noise coming through this power supply whatsoever. It's very nice, very quiet, as it should be. This Lekato MPP-10 power supply looks like it's built really well, and I do like the features of it. The very clear markings on the top with the lights that you can see when something's plugged in and powered on. And I do like the bottom here, how it's color coded. You got the red for input, and the black is your regular 300 milliamp 9-volt outputs, and then you got the two yellow ones that are variable output, so you know you got to be careful when you start using those ones. Now let's compare it to two other power supplies that I have. Without revealing brand names, this is another one. This one does have lights, and you can turn the light feature on and off. It doesn't really matter. But this, everything's marked in black, and it's kind of hard to see, and if you're trying to work it in the dark, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only got 7 regular 9-volt outputs. Then you got one high current with the 500 milliamp, and you have a 12-volt and a 18-volt. And you can see me kind of looking at them kind of funny because it's kind of hard to read. I mean, I got to get just the right light on it. And this one has died out on me a couple times, and I had to unplug it, and it like seems to reset itself. This one's been good, and it does have clear markings here. And you've got 8 of the regular 9-volt power supplies, and you've got a 12 and an 18, but they're not color coded, so you could easily plug a 9-volt into one of those and not really realize it until it's too late. If you got something like this and you don't have any reason to plug anything in there, put a piece of tape over them. It's just good precaution. Now with the pedal setup I showed you before, sure, it's small. You could run one power supply and a daisy chain, but sometimes they can get kind of noisy when you're using a daisy chain. True isolated power supplies are the way to go when it comes to pedals and reducing noise. So you might be asking, well, how much is this power supply? Right now on Amazon it's about $53, which is a pretty decent price compared to its competitors for the features you're getting here. If you like this video, hit that like button for me, and if you're not a subscriber, subscribe as well, and that'll bring more opportunities to this channel for products like this for me to try before you buy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.